So in this video, we're going to talk about how to attract love and how to attract your soulmate. So the first step that I found in my own life in order to attract my soulmate and my partner and soon to be the mother of my coming child, Ashley, was that I had to do the inner work to feel, not just intellectually believe, that I was worthy of love. The relationship before that I was in, I thought this person was the one, and I was infatuated with them, and I had deeply cared about them, and I imagined the future with them. They didn't imagine me in the future with them, is one way to say it. And so I eventually was brokenhearted, and ultimately to attract Ashley, I had to do the inner work because I started to question, am I worthy of love? Like, am I good enough? Is the right person out there? Does true love exist? Is it worth the hassle? Am I, based off of the way that I look or who I am as a person, am I worthy of meeting the right person? Is this all a giant hoax? And I had to do all that inner work for me personally to attract Ashley into my life. So for me, that was basically like me finding out what was cool about me and what I loved about myself. A lot of times we don't notice the things that are cool about us or that we love about ourselves or that heck we even like about ourselves or that we like about our life, and it's this void of emptiness that we try to fill with somebody else. But if you're going at it like that, even if it's just subconsciously an emotional thing, you aren't consciously thinking like that, but that's the way it's panning itself out. I found all of those relationships I attract from that energy never work out, and they are never the right relationship. And so I had to look myself in the mirror and be like, look, I'm trying to use this other person, I realized, to make me happy. And I wasn't really accomplishing what I wanted. Like, I didn't know what my goals were. I firmly believe that one of the cornerstone, and one of the reasons that Ashley fell in love with me and was so attracted to me, is because I knew what I wanted. I was very black and white. This is what I wanted. I knew what my goals were. I clearly could define them to you. I had a direction that my life was going in. I had certainty about myself. And this was attractive to Ashley. I didn't have that in the previous relationship. I didn't know who I was, really. I didn't know exactly what I wanted. My career hadn't really worked out yet. I had just kind of gotten to the point of finishing my first book. I didn't have goals. I didn't really know what I wanted out of life. And so when this relationship didn't work out with the other person, it caused all this self-reflection, which led me to the step number 2, which is kind of like a 1A of the first point, which I said, doing the inner work to believe that I'm worthy of love, to believe that you are worthy of love. And it's not just an intellectual thing. And the second point of that is I stopped needing a relationship. I needed a relationship before. I really, and if I didn't need it, I wouldn't admit that, but I really wanted one. I needed someone to stimulate me, spend my time with, all these types of things. And so I attracted this relationship before Ashley's that wasn't perfect. So when I went back to the drawing board after dealing with all my heartbreak and all that type of stuff like that, I said, look, I don't need somebody else to make me happy. That was where I went wrong in this relationship. This is why this relationship was bound to fail from the beginning, because it wasn't two wholes coming together. You know, they always say, two halves make a whole. I don't believe that, and neither does my wife, Ashley. We believe that two holes make a bigger hole. And before, I thought it was two halves make a whole. And so I didn't have my energy directed into goals, career, all these types of things like that. And this person I was dating before obviously found that on some level to just not be that reassuring or not that attractive, even if it was on a subconscious level. And so I decided after that relationship didn't work out that I didn't need anybody. I was going to be happy. I started writing all my goals down. I put my goals on, I taped them to the wall, and I read them every single morning. I went and got to the gym at 6 a.m. every day. I started eating better than ever. I was exercising every single day, meditating, and I was spending a lot of that time where normally I would be trying to find a date, or I'd be trying to like pick whatever the term is, pick somebody up. I started investing that time into my goals and into my career and into myself and into my meditation and into working hard on my business and my goals that I had set for myself. And I had the best 12 to 18 months ever. I never thought about I need a girlfriend. I never thought about I need a future wife. I never thought about I need someone to fill my space up with. My career started taking off. I did a TEDx talk. I got a book deal with Penguin Random House, the #1 English publishing company in the world, when I was 21. I was 21 years old. I may not even have been 20. I might not have been 21. I might have been 20 when I signed it. And I was 20 and I signed a book contract with Penguin Random House. I was just so stoked, and I could attest it to, I directed all my life force. I directed my sexual energy. I directed all my idle time all into myself. And I felt good about myself. I felt really good about myself. The best I'd ever felt about myself in my life. And I also didn't realize that I never felt good about myself before then. So that was weird too, because it took me to feel a lot better before I realized I didn't feel that good about myself to begin with. And I was in this great vibe. And then my book agent, my literary agent, called me and he was like, "Hey, it's my birthday. And if you're enjoying this video, by the way, just hit the like button. I don't make that many videos about love and stuff like that. Every one I've ever made, they never do that good for some reason. I don't know why. So I don't make that very many of them. So if you enjoy this, hit the like button on this side and comment down below, I'm worthy of love. Comment down below, I'm worthy of love, and hit the like button so I know that you enjoy it." So anyways, agent calls me, says "Hey, I think he said it was my 70th birthday. You need to come to this little get together with 10 or 15 people because a guy that's going to be there has a really cute daughter." And I'm like, I just told you the vibe I was in. I'm like, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to go drive a bunch of hours. It was in Santa Barbara and I lived in San Diego. So that's 5 hours. I don't like traffic. I certainly don't like Southern California traffic. I'm not trying to do it. And he's like, "Come on, Jake, come on." And I'm like, "Ah." And I didn't. And so I was like, screw it. So I went, right? I drive and I sit there and everyone's way older than me. And I was probably 20, maybe 21, something like that. And I'm sitting there by myself on the couch. And then Ashley walks in with her father, and my agent, Bill, he's a New York agent, communicator, connector type of guy, right? So Bill goes, as soon as Ashley walks into the front door, I'm sitting on the couch 3 feet from the front door. As soon as she walks in the door, Bill goes, "Oh, look, it's the only two 20-year-olds here." And he pushes us together, and here's my face and here's her face. And I'm like, "Hi, nice to meet you." And it was just okay. And then, I don't know, maybe we circled around it for a little bit, and then we got back, and then that was how we met. And happened out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. I know she wasn't expecting it because she was in Santa Barbara, but she lived in Utah at the time. She was just there for the weekend. And her dad, and she went to go see her dad in Southern California, and her dad was like, "Hey, since you're here, my friend, it's his birthday, and he has this guy that I want you to meet." And she was like, "Okay." That's how it was very not how I thought it would exactly unfold. And that's my point, is that love manifests itself when you aren't expecting it, but you're ready for it. It's a paradox. It manifests itself when you're not expecting it, or in a way you aren't expecting it, but when you're ready for it. And what I mean by that is energetically and emotionally, I was ready for love. I believed in myself. I loved myself. I truly loved myself. I was comfortable being alone. I was comfortable going a week on Friday, Saturday, Thursday nights, Sunday nights, not needing to interact with someone, not needing to talk. I liked who I was. I liked the direction I was going. I was proud of where I was moving. And so I was ready for love in that I love myself. And so I knew what my worth was. And I was comfortable with it. Because a lot of times what happens is you meet the right person, but you aren't ready for it. You can meet the right person, but you're not ready for it. Because if you don't love yourself and feel comfortable with yourself and all these things, then you reject their love. And that was kind of what happened with my relationship before. The woman, her father wasn't around when she was younger, and so she had like all these... She didn't feel worthy of love. And so this was my relationship before Ashley. So one of the ways I think we failed at the time is she wasn't ready and I wasn't ready. And that was causing flare-ups that were just like too dramatic. And so we were both so then she just got over it, you know? And so I was ready for love. I was ready to be loved, and I felt good about myself so I could give that back to somebody over. Because a relationship is like the cup runneth over analogy. I need my cup to be full in order to truly build somebody else up. Because if my cup isn't full, I can't build you up. And if I can't build you up, what's the point of us being together anyways if I can't build you up? Not that I need to be the one that builds you up exclusively, because you have to build yourself up first to meet me halfway. Right? But if I can't build you up and I can't build myself up and you can't build me up because we're not there on our own inner journeys, what's the point in being together anyways? And that's what most relationships are. They're just this filler space in between. And that's why a lot of them don't work out, or there's no emotional or sexual intimacy years later if they do stay together. And this is why it all goes back to it being an inner journey. So when I had a lot of time to myself, and this was before I met Ashley, after that previous relationship hadn't worked out, and I really thought about it, and I came to be in a way better place in my life, and then I thought about what I might want out of a relationship. I pulled out a notepad and I actually wrote out the types of qualities, like personality traits, like things that I found attractive or that I liked. I thought about it really. And I wrote down that I wanted to date an artist. Like I thought it was far-fetched because I didn't know like really cool creative women. I didn't. And so I wrote all these things down on a notepad, everything that I kind of wanted, like my dream woman. And I wanted this creative person and like an artist and all these things. And ironically, that was who Ashley was. And I had never dated an artist. I didn't even know anyone that was really creative, to be honest with you. And then I met Ashley, and that kind of came out of nowhere. And so after we've discussed those first 2 points, the third one that I want to talk about is defining what you want out of a relationship and being bold enough to define it. Now, granted, you're not going to know all the details of how love manifests itself in your life and all the sweet nuances of a relationship or a person that you don't know, or they help you find aspects of yourself that you didn't know or about life you didn't know and all those great things. I'm just talking more fundamentally about offering it up to the universe. And I never would have imagined that the person was creative. Like this truly amazing, not just like, hey, they can mix blue and yellow paint together and it doesn't turn brown. They're creative. Like, cause I don't know how to mix colors on watercolors. I don't even know how to do that. That's how uncreative I am. And so if somebody could mix colors properly, man, they would have been a lot more creative than me if a woman could do that. Well, I'm talking about like real, I respect your creativity level. And Ashley's like this amazing wood burning artist. She truly is like, I think one of the best artists in the entire world. And like in my really deep fantasies, I imagined that like somebody that was really that amazing of an artist. And that's how I met Ashley. And so I say all that to encourage you to do that, to pull out a pen and pad and write out what it might look like. Now, the next simple thing is basically not being afraid to talk to people. because that's the other thing, is like we're so afraid to talk to people and we're so afraid of getting rejected that we never do anything anyways. It's like even if your soulmate was right in front of your face, you'd be too afraid to talk to them. And that's how most of us are. And so I prepared myself in one way where I used to always just like get nervous. I don't know, when I was like in high school and stuff, talking to women that I found attractive and stuff, starting a conversation. I guess it's the fear of failure, or the fear of being rejected, or the fear of feeling awkward. And before I met Ashley, even before the relationship that didn't work out, one of the ways that I attracted that one that didn't work out is because I stopped being afraid of going over and talking to someone that I thought was attractive, that maybe I thought was out of my league or anything like that. And it's an important element because it challenges all your feelings of lack of self-worth or of something not working out. And it also just creates a detachment where it's like, doesn't really matter if it does or doesn't work out. If this person that I find attractive gives me their number and I go on a date with them and they become my soulmate, who cares? It's just the act of me not being afraid anymore. And I know when the right person manifests itself, I'm not going to be so afraid to talk to them that I'm not going to say anything. And so if that's you, you know who you are. And in conclusion, I think one of the ways that brought me to Ashley was letting go of my ex before and truly sending them positive vibes and well wishes. I was actually really mad and upset and really heartbroken and really depressed, and I kind of minimized all that, but like it was a really bad, I was really upset and mad and depressed when the previous relationship didn't work out. And so on a deep level, I felt hurt by them and mad at them. And when you feel hurt and mad by that, oftentimes we just let life continue to go on, and eventually we consciously forget about it, but we never really let go of that energy imprint in our subconscious, or those emotional baggages, those emotional bags that we're carrying around with us our whole lives. And somebody had told me that I had to like clear my emotions with this other person. And I wasn't in any type of communication with them, so it wasn't like I needed to sit down at a formal meeting with them and be like, hello, sir, or hello, ma'am, in this instance. And you don't have to like sit down and make it proper with them. Like, hello, my ex. Hello, my spouse. Hello, my former lover. Hello, man. Hello, woman. I wish we would have done this differently, and I'd like to acknowledge that I'm freeing you from your past, and I'm freeing you of my anger towards you, and I made this contract for us to sign, and this contract in which we'll sign that we are freeing ourselves emotionally from one another. Let's shake hands amicably. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. It just can be an inner intention. So I just imagined this woman that I dated before Ashley, and I finally was like, I want you to be happy. Like, I'm actually sending you love from my heart, not romantic love, but just like pure universal love and light. And I understand why you didn't want to be together anymore, and I thank you for that, and I thank you for all the things that I learned, and I truly wish you well. And I did that like just with my eyes closed, lying in my bed. And I had to do it more than once. It wasn't like I did it one day and it was like, poof, the next day Ashley shows up. Like it was like a gradual process because it was a pretty rough emotional thing. So like, I did it more than once. And I just went through that process and sent them love and wished them well and our time we had together. And I know it ended really bad in a lot of anger and a lot of pain. And I felt one way and you felt one way and you did me like this. And like none of that. You just, at some point, you have to clear it because you're the one carrying around the baggage the rest of your life, not them. And to the degree that you continue to carry around that spite or that anger is to the degree that you're blocking yourself from truly uncovering unconditional love in your life. And once you uncover that within your life, it opens the door for you to meet your soulmate, true love, the perfect person that is supposed to be in whatever season of life that you find yourself in. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment down below. I'm worthy of love. Make sure you hit the like button on this side or this side. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you want more videos about love or soulmate or any relationships, types of stuff like that, leave a comment down below and let me know. I don't make that many about them. So leave a comment down below and hit the like button on this side or this side. Hey, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. And if you are a returner, double check, have you hit the bell notification? So when you subscribe, there's also a bell notification, and that's what notifies you for new videos. So even if you're already subscribed, double check if you hit that. Right there down below is jakeshypnosis.com. It's my free success hypnosis. I made a free success hypnosis to reprogram my subconscious mind, my limiting thought patterns, all these types of things like that. It changed my life forever. A million people from all over the world have used it now. And it's free. It's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com to retrain your limiting thought patterns, to make yourself into a magnet for more of the things that you want in life. So check that out right there down below, and I'll see you on the next video.